very happy to share my experience on this huge stage. Uh, so, imagine at 13 years and 11 months, I climbed Mount Everest, world's highest peak. So, I'll start with my childhood from my village. So I come from a small village called Pakala in a Telangana state, which doesn't have any kind of facilities. Imagine even to buy a small matchbox, we need to walk 7 kilometers to buy the matchbox. And there is no transportation facilities, and there is no, hospitality, nothing. We have to walk to buy anything, daily use kind of things. Could be anything. We need to walk 7 kilometers. And if there is an emergency, health issues or, health issues, we need to go for a 60 kilometers to the hospital. That's the place where I come from. And up to my 5th grade, I did my schooling in my village in a government school. And then after 5th grade, I got admission into a residential school, government residential school in a Tadwai, place called Tadwai, which is 40 km away from my village. So there everything was changed. From that point, everything was changed. The changes were started in my life. And it was so painful and very hard to, stay away from the parents for a long, many days. And I used to go, I used to go home only for festivals. And for my schooling, I used to stay in a hostel. So when I was in 8th grade, one officer, he was an IPS officer, and he got appointed as a secretary of all government residential schools. And he also come from a small village, and he also faced many struggles, and he wanted to do something. There was almost 300 schools in Andhra Pradesh. And now it divided into 2 states, Telangana and Andhra. When I was doing my schooling and when I climbed Everest, it was Andhra Pradesh. So there was almost more than 300 schools in Andhra Pradesh, government residential schools. And I was in a Tadwai school. And, there was strength almost 600 members, 600 students. And this person, IPS officer, his name is Praveen Kumar. He's my mentor, and he's the person who started this, Mount Everest operation, like Mount Everest expedition idea, adventure sports idea, everything got started with him. So his aim is to provide a good education and good, food, opportunities to the students. He wanted to provide opportunities, and he wanted to, motivate the students, to boost them. And he came up with an idea of adventure sports. There was no plan of Everest, and there was no discussion at all when he started adventure sports. And he wanted to, select 2 students from each institutions. And I was in a 9th grade and 13 years and 4 months. So that there I started, like, from my school, I and my senior 11th grade, my senior sister got selected from my school because I was so active in a sports. I used to play all the games, not like, I have a favorite games, but I used to play every game. But my favorite game are kabaddi, volleyball, and athletics. So I got selected for a rock climbing training. They started with a rock climbing training. They have selected 2 students from each institutions, and there was almost 110 students got participated in a rock climbing training. So rock climbing training was a 5 days course in a Hyderabad, like Bonagiri village, 2 hours drive from the Hyderabad. So that's the first time I stepped out from my place, my village. Till that time, I never traveled anywhere except my village and my school, my hostel. So that's the first time I went there, and the very first day, in that 5 days course, the very first day, I was in a shock. They took us to the rock for the training. And the first day, I was standing in front of that rock, a big, huge rock. It was a 650 feet rock. It's a single rock. So till that time, I've seen only a small rocks at home, a village, and wherever I, went. So that's the first time I've seen, and I was in shock. Like, God, how to climb this rock? And imagine, I was 13 years and 4 months. There was so many questions, and there was, many things are running in my mind because I didn't know anything about rock climbing or adventure sports. That's the first time I came out. So I was thinking so much, many questions are running, and still looking for the, answers, for my questions. And we were standing in a line, and we were just listening to the instructors. They were, telling us everything about rock climbing, and they're giving instructions, and I slowly started climbing. The first day, they'll teach us balancing, how to balance your body on the rock. Then the fear will, slowly decrease. So, I was so scared. The first day, I was doing, it was a slope rock. The rock is like slope, and it is like, we were going up. Sometimes going up, feels very easy. But we also did the same. All of us, there was 3-4 batches, and our batch was 40-50 members. All are women, girls. So we all went up easily, and while coming down, it is like slope. So it is very hard and scary thing, and the rock is very, there is no grips on the rock. So it's very smooth. My legs were started shivering, and we need to be in a position like this while coming down. So, so much fear. I was scared, like my whole body was shivering while coming down in that position. If you come like this, you can't come. You'll fall down. So if you need to be in a position like sitting position. So then the grip will be comfortable to walk, to come down. So we were just coming slowly. That balancing part will give us so much confidence and courage. So they'll teach balancing first day. So one girl fell down, and one of the instructor was trying to hold her, but even she pushed him also, and she fell down, and she got 3-4 stitches in head. And still, after treatment, she was very confident that because even in my case, especially a girl coming from a village will not have that much support, especially for women, like from could be my community or from the village people. Their support will be very less, and the opportunity is also very less for the people who come from the villages. So I think even that girl, even I, was thinking this is the right opportunity and I need to grab it. Seriously, honestly, I don't know, anything about rock climbing when I started. But, after that 5 days course, I become very confident that I can do anything. That 5 days we have learned, imagine 300 feet climbing, and it is like a wall. Climbing, 300 feet climbing, rock climbing and rappelling and bouldering. There are many things we have learned in that 5 days. And that gave me so much confidence that I can do anything in this world. And that confidence, you know, took me to next level. So they have selected out of 110 students, they have selected 20, 10 girls and 10 boys for the next training. So that is basic and advanced course. Was happened in Darjeeling, West Bengal. So we have done rock climbing at rock climbing school Bonigiri, and this was in a HMI Himalayan Mountaineering Institute. Is there in a Darjeeling. So see, rock climbing is different again, and this basic advanced course they'll teach us how to acclimatize in a high altitude and how to adapt minus degree temperature, like 20, there was 20 degree, 20, 25 degrees, minus 20, 25 degrees temperature. And it was so hard to adapt that weather and that altitude. And we have climbed, my first achievement, 17,000 feet mountain Renock Peak. That was my first achievement in a Darjeeling. So that was my first highest mountain. So that 20, 25 days training, we have learned so many things, icecraft, snowcraft, and many things. See, if I don't take a first step at rock climbing training, I may not come to this advanced and basic course. So what I believe is that first step is important to do anything in a life. So after that basic and advanced course, I went back to home for Dasara vacations, Dasara holidays. See, this is the important thing in my life. I went back to home and I realized that till that time, even I don't know, even my friends don't know anything. Many of my friends, they drop out their schooling, from their school, and few of them got married at 13, 14 years, and one of my friend got married, and now she's having 2 kids, and they are going to school. And now I am standing, I am here in front of you. See the difference, ordinary and extraordinary. So there I realized, like, there are many opportunities in this world. Even I didn't know till I came out from my comfort zone, from my circle. There I realized. See, there are many opportunities in this world. Sometimes opportunities will come, but sometimes we need to create them. We need to, if there is an opportunity, whatever it is, just grab it. Everybody who started from the beginning, nobody knows nothing about that. Even I did not know anything about rock climbing, but I started with a fear. But I did so much, like climbing step by step. So I want to change this. The first thing in my mind that was, I wanted to, prove And I want to grab this opportunity. I want to take it to the level, next level. And I want to select, I want to climb Mount Everest. And there I decided to prove that girls can do anything. And I want to know every woman, not only women, everybody that they can do anything. But they need to believe in themselves. And they need to be focused. They need to work very hard, very, very hard. That will take you to the, reach your dreams. So then there I realized, and then I went back to my school again. And everything was happened in 10 months only. I think almost 10 months. After basic advanced course, Dasra vacations ho gaya, went back to school, and again, there was a hope I'll get a call that I'll get selected for next training. Then yes, I got selected for winter expedition. Out of 20, they selected 9 for winter expedition, and it was almost 1 month training in a Ladakh. See, imagine again, in December, November, December, January, in our places, it's a winter season. In winter, we went to a cold place, Ladakh, and there was minus 30 degrees temperature, and again, it was so hard at that age to adapt that kind of weather. And we learned in that winter expedition, especially to how our body is reacting to the high altitude and how our body adapting the minus degree temperature. They'll observe everything. And I was doing very well. And I have learned pinching the tents and how many, depending on our body reaction, we need to wear our dressing, socks layers and gloves. We need to learn everything. In which stage you need to change, in which stage you need to wear which jacket. We have to learn everything, this all. And even how our breathing is reacting in how is our breathing movement in a cold temperature and high altitude. They'll observe everything, and even we need to know everything before going to the high altitude mountains. So that we have learned everything, and after that course, they got selected actually 4 students, but government want to support only 2 students financially and everything. So they, again, out of 9, they selected 4, then out of 4, they selected 2. And I got selected for that. I was in a 9th grade and 13 years. And another a boy, Anand Kumar, he was 17 years and he's in 11th grade. So we both got selected. Abhi to khatam hi nahi hua. Training khatam hi nahi hua. Abhi, now the actual training will start. This is just learning part. Now they selected us to climb Mount Everest. Mount Everest climb करने के लिए तो needs a lot of training, needs a lot. Many people, many people will train for many years, and still they fail to reach the summit. See, they trained us 3 months. It was very, very hard. Sometimes I and Anand, we both discuss about, the training. Annaya, kitna karna yaar? Seriously, we used to run 20 to 25 kilometers each single day. Morning and evening, exercises, meditation, yoga, stretching, everything. And at the same time, we need to balance the education also. So morning, 3 to 4 hours, we'll spend our time for practice. Sometimes we feel like we need to do this much to climb Everest, because we don't know about Everest, but we have seen the videos and photos, but we have not experienced. But we'll discuss sometimes like that. And daytime will go for school. I was in 9th grade, so need to finish 9th class also. So daytime is school. We used to go school, and again evening practice. This was that 3 months practice. So in mountaineering, in adventure sports especially, we need a mental fitness along with the physical fitness. So what we believe is we need to train our brain to accept any kind of situation. Could be anything. If you die, accept. If there is something happening, accept. We should accept everything. You should accept a failure. You should accept. See, mountains will be there only forever, for years and years. But we need to come safe. We need to come back safe. If you fail, accept it and come back. So we need to train. See, coming from a village, there will be many, you are a girl. People used to say, you are a girl. Why you want to climb? Pahad kya chadna yaar, ladki? Why you want to climb mountain? Go and, study. कुछ पढ़ना है, बस marriage करना है, बस वही life. People will, few people disgrace you in that kind of way. So we need to, receive all that, and we need to, but what I believe, what I learned is take what you need. Take what you need to your brain. Take what you need in your future. जो भी करो, whatever you do in your life, first see for the positivity. First see for the positive thing. Forget about negative. Even you no need to look at that. That's what I did. There was rumors, there was like, ladki hai, why you want to climb? Girls will climb mountains. People are like that. But chhod do. I even never took to the mind, and I trained my mind like that. So that mental capacity is also important during the expedition, during the climbing. So after that training, 3 months training, we went to school to finish our final exams, and then we started to climb Mount Everest. That was in April 2014. So generally Mount Everest climb करने के लिए there's only one season, 2 months, April, May. We need to climb in that 2 months only, 60 days. So there is 2 ways to climb Mount Everest. One is from Tibet side, one is from Nepal side. So I climbed from China side, Tibet side. So there is 2 reasons to climb from that way. One is my coach, Mr. Shekhar Babu. He climbed Everest in 2007 from the same route, and he trained us to that, kind of direction. So the another reason is there is no permission under a 16 to climb from Nepal side. So I was 13 years and 11 months. I was 13, 10 months, something. So that's the second reason. So there is no rule from the Tibet side. There was no age limit from the Tibet route till I climbed. So I took that route to climb Mount Everest. And see, training is a different part, and obviously world's highest peak, Mount Everest expedition is completely different. We never know what will happen during the expedition. Sometimes we'll get a positive report, like weather report, like tomorrow is a good weather, you can go for the high camp. They'll give a good report, but sometimes suddenly the weather will change. Sometimes storms will come. There will be many changes in the weather during expedition, not only in Everest expedition, and many there are in other mountains also. So personally, I faced altitude sickness. There will be altitude sickness. There will be like headache, severe headache. But I got like I started vomiting from the base camp only, vomiting swaya. Like continuously I was vomiting from base camp 5,300 meters to 6,400 meters. Continuously I was vomiting, but see, I never feel to come back in any case. My focus is only to climb Mount Everest. So once I reached 6,400 meters, advanced base camp, they put oxygen cylinder, artificial oxygen cylinder for 1 hour, and I was sleeping for that 1 hour using oxygen cylinder in a tent. So that 1 hour, I was so active, I took enough rest, and after 1 hour, they took out the oxygen cylinder, like oxygen mask, and I came out of the tent, and I was just, walking outside in the camp. And after 5-10 minutes, I was totally fine and fully charged for that, 10 minutes. And after 10 minutes, again started vomiting. That was a that was a altitude sickness. One is altitude sickness, and the another reason is packet food. Packet food, that smell was so that was whenever I open the packet food, I start vomiting. So that was the one reason, and altitude sickness is one reason. So they was thinking and discussing, everybody like guides and Sherpas were discussing, kya karna hai isko, let's send her down and we'll see. Let send her down for 2-3 days to acclimatize well, and we'll take her up. So they decided that, and after that also, if she do the same thing, we'll not taking her to the summit. That's what they decided, and along with the Sherpa, they sent me to the base camp, and like 2-3 days I spent on a base camp, went for an acclimatization walk, go high and sleep low. That will help you to acclimatize well. So that's what I did at base camp, and then after 3 days again I went out. So do baar hua, 2 times. Then my toughest part during Everest expedition, personally for me, the toughest part is climbing from 6,400 meters to 7,100 meters. That was a very painful and very hard for me, because it is like a steep climbing, steep wall climbing. It was very steep, like a wall. And that took me 8 to 9 hours to reach there. It was so hard, kicking with your toe. There will be like almost 5 kgs of weight boots. For that boot, we need to wear crampons, which will give you the grip in ice and snow. And when you kick into the ice, that will give the grip. So almost 5 kgs, both pairs. So that was very hard. Now in a mountaineering equipments, now they are like less weight. But when I climbed, it was little heavy. It was so tough, but finally I reached 7,100 meters, camp 1. It is called North Col. So wahan se there are another 2 camps to reach the summit, camp 2 and camp 3. Camp 3 is called death zone. So many people will die there only after that. So that is called death zone, from there to the summit. So till that point, I've reached 8,300 meters. on May 24th, I've reached and was doing very well. I was totally fine. And the same night, till that point, we need to climb in a daytime, but for the summit, we need to start in a night because in a daytime, the snow will melt. That will, disturbs us. So we started around 9:30 p.m. 24th May 2014, and we were just walking slowly, 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 and was going very well. Everything was fine. The weather also is very good. And that year, the one incident was happened. Like when I was in a base camp, Nepal side, there was almost 16 Sherpas were died who are going to open the route. Because of avalanche, they all died. So after that, there was no clear weather to summit the Everest. And that year, Nepal said everything was closed. There was no expeditions from the Nepal side. It was the only expedition from Tibet side. So we got only 1 day clear window, and that is till 11 a.m. And after that, weather will become bad. So that was the report, weather report. Then I think around, I was very close to the summit. I can see the summit. Like, it will take me hardly 10 minutes to reach on the summit. And the place where I was, like around 5:30 a.m. in the morning, I've seen a dead body. Till that time, I didn't know how many I crossed because it's a night time and I was using headlamp, head torch, and I was just, we can't see here and there in a night time. We just walk in our way. So around 5:30, 5:45, I think, 5:45 kuch. So lighting thoda sa start ho gaye, to I have seen the dead body, and again I started, the fear. I scared a lot. Like, movement to chal raha hai. I was keep climbing, but still I was, thinking of if I die, my position would be also the same. From that point, we can't take back the dead body. It was almost like 28,000 feet. So I was thinking that, but I was keep I didn't stop. I was keep walking, but was thinking so much. And I was looking at the summit, and it's very close. I can see the summit, and I can't stop there. But but finally around 5:59, 6 a.m. I've reached on the summit, a world's highest point, and I think that year, as a climber, I am the first person who reached on the summit. So finally, summit to ho gaya. Summit was done. But this is only halfway. This is only halfway. Why? I always remember my coach's words. He always used to tell me that, Poorna, going up is only halfway. You must come down to the place where you started, then the expedition was successful. So that's, honestly, I was so tired when I reached. I just sat down, drank water given by my Sherpa. I was just looking around mighty mountains, blue sky. It was a clear weather around 6 a.m. So almost 10 minutes kuch I spent on the top. More than 10 minutes we can't stay at one place because it's minus 50 to 60 degrees temperature. So we'll get freeze. We can't move our body. So we always need to keep warm. We always need to, move our body to keep warm our body. So then after 10 minutes, we took the photos with our Indian national flag. And like after that, we came back in the same way. So many people will think that going up is hard, coming down is easy. No, not at all. Coming down is more harder than going up. So because if you fell anywhere, you'll directly will never know, even nobody can see us, because we may fell in a crevasse, thousands of feet, a deeper crevasse. If we fell in that, nobody will, no one can see us. No one can rescue us. So that will happen. So every movement, every step, whole expedition need to be very careful. So that was, the whole expedition was 52 days. Because of weather, it took so long. Few people may climb in 35 days, 45 days, 50 days. That happens, but that year weather was not so good. So after around 11, 12 o'clock, the weather got changed. And few people have not summited, few people have summited. There was so many things happened. I think one guy was missed. I don't know where he missed, but it happened so many things after a summit. It was so long day from the camp 3 to summit to again back to the 6,400 meters advanced camp. Directly we came down. So because of weather, so it was so long day, almost 15, 16 hours, continuous walking. So that's how my Everest expedition was done. Then, I never knew that it will become a world record. And I become a world's youngest girl. And then, interesting thing is, after my summit, after my achievement, the China government also banned under 18, nobody can climb the Everest. So then after that, Everest was done. That was my dream, one of my goal. That was done. Then I was thinking what to do next. Then I got to know about 7 summits, the 7 continents' highest mountains. Then I've climbed all 7 continents' highest mountains. My last 7th summit was Mount Denali. That was, I have climbed in June last year. So that was a different experience. Every mountain is very hard because different difficulties. Every mountain has a different difficulties, a different journey, different experience. So my last summit, Mount Denali, was so hard because there will be no guides. There will be guides, but there is no porters. In few mountains, there will be porters. They'll carry our baggage, a luggage bag, food and extra clothing and everything they will carry. But in this mountain, we need to carry everything, almost 40 kgs of weight we need to pull the sledge. So that's the difference of Mount Denali. It is also one of the toughest mountain. And after that, out of 7, including I have climbed all 7 and then few other Indian mountains also. And my recent peak was unnamed and unclimbed mountain, which is located in Ladakh, that I have climbed in August. That was my recent summit. And now, what my dream is, now what I was thinking is, what I am thinking and what I want to do is, I want to make this passion, and I am working towards to make this passion as a profession. Because there is not many women are there into this in this adventure thing. So I want to invite many more women and men also, obviously. So especially women, I want to invite many more to come out of their comfort zones. And I always request and I always suggest to all, at least once in your life, try adventure life. That will teach you so much, and I've learned so many things from my adventure journey. And that's what my experience, and I've completed MA Political Science from Usmania University, Hyderabad.